I think that the school should drug test them more because once they get older and employed, jobs usually like require them to pass drug tests.
Are you saying to drug test more as in more often or more substances?
More often.
What was your question? Was it more substances or more often?
Both of them.
Okay, I don't. School or jobs in the future, they will only have you drug test once when you get hired.
Actually, they sometimes do have random drug tests.
Some jobs have random drug testing, but
I know Walmart Distribution Center over in Sterling, they have random drug tests, and it's like our school. If you do not do it, you are automatically terminated.
yeah, and that's only a few jobs. Like most jobs, it's just a one-time thing. And
I don't know. Walmart employs a lot of people.
yeah, and Hy-Vee and Clinton, you take one drug test and then that's it, and they don't drug test you again unless there's suspicion. If there's suspicion anywhere, they'll drug test you. I agree.
Should student athletes either have to take a random or mandatory drug testing?
I believe a mandatory, just once again, make sure you're not on anything. I mean, like for wrestling, you have to take a heat hydration test, and they could easily do a drug test then too when you do your hydration test.
They shouldn't even, with a mandated drug test, students who are doing drugs would easily just stop and get it out of their system, flush it out, and then after the drug test, they'll think they're fine, and then they'll go. With a random drug test, they don't know. Like, you'll never know when you're going to get drug tested. It's just random. So, I mean, random drug testing would be better than a mandated one in that instance, but even the random drug testing doesn't even do the job, because there's still the people that will still do drugs or do tobacco, and they won't get drug tested. Like, you can go your whole high school career without getting drug tested. So if they were to keep drug testing, they would have to change how they do it somehow.
So what you're saying is it should not be random anymore. It should be if you look like you're or have suspicion of being on drugs.
Well,
I think it should be both.
I don't think it should be the school's job to drug test you. I think it should be either your parents if they think you have a problem with it, or a police officer that is kind of their job to stop people from doing
I don't
bad
think
things.
it's the school. I think it's IHSA that
Well, the IHSA
comes in and they do it because you're already at school. And
yeah, you're at school and it's for the student athletes, but still, again, the athletes, it's still random. You ain't gonna catch it. They aren't gonna catch everybody, and they hardly will ever catch anybody because they're still in. And I don't think it's all IHSA, because thespians I don't think is IHSA, but it's any extracurricular activity gets drug tested. So it kind of defeats the purpose.
I mean, when you come to school, you're here for learning. You're not really here for drug testing. You're here to learn something and get something out of it.
I think they should have like mandated dates for drug testing, and they can just do it whenever, try to catch more athletes.
Are these mandated?
Kind of like a-
do these mandated? Do the people know when they're going to happen?
No, they're still like
Randomly
randomized, but
mandated.
everyone.
So like so you want a random
So
mandated
yeah,
drug
like
test?
you want a mandated one and then random.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's a lot of money.
it's kind of like, yeah, that's a lot of money too, with every student having to get drug. The big thing with this is that it's not even really most of the time it's not even the student athletes that are doing it, because most of the time, this is kind of stereotypical, but most of the time, the kids that are doing drugs and stuff don't do sports because they know they get drug tested, so they're not going to even take the chance. But that's just stereotypical.
That's the end of our debate. Our topic again was, should student athletes be mandated to participate in random drug testing? What do you think we should do?